Hello everyone, my name is Diana and I own Deviera Creations. I am here to introduce to you the Ember Crossbody bag from Hold It Right There. This is Susanna's new bag that was listed as the January 2024 bag of the month. It is a beautiful bag. It is a great sew. In my video, I made it with vinyl and cotton lining. It measures 11 inches high, 11 inches wide, and 3 inches deep. It is a good size bag. You can put quite a bit in it. She has a front pocket, goes all the way to the other end. As you can see, even my wrist goes in there. Nice and deep. Also, there is a back slip pocket held by a magnetic snap, also nice and deep. And on the inside, in the front, there is a deep slip pocket, deep enough for an iPad. And on the back, there is a zipper pocket, also a nice size. This is great for traveling. I would say it's a great bag for traveling. Also in the video, I do mention that I was going to edge coat my tab. So I did edge coat it in red to match the zipper and the rose. So this is my version of the Ember Crossbody bag from Hold It Right There. I will put all of the description information below where you can purchase the vinyl, the hand-dyed fabrics, where you can pick up the pattern. And just a little side note, this is actually the first video that I am recording and editing. So it's taken me quite a while to edit and finish it up. I hope that you learned something from my video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I do have a list coming up and I hope to do lives soon. So thank you. A special thank you to you, Susanna, for allowing me to make the Ember Crossbody bag as my first bag for the channel. Thank you. As you know, I will be making the Ember Crossbody from Hold It Right There. And at the moment, I will be going over of the pieces. So right here, I have the exterior center front. And it is a Wednesday vinyl from Bolts, Bags, and Foes. I will put all the description in the description box below. So you need one of those. Then we have the exterior zipper pocket facing, which is a hand-dyed fabric from Thunderbird Handcrafted. And we have the exterior zipper pocket. So I have two, one out of vinyl and one out of the hand-dyed fabric. Here we have two exterior side pieces, two in vinyl and two in fabric. This is the rose, let me see, spider roses, sorry, from Bolts, Bags, and Foes as well. And here we have the exterior center back top, which I will be using these spider roses as well. Here is the exterior center back bottom, spider roses. Exterior slip pocket inside piece, and this is the Captain's Red. Here we have the exterior slip pocket, which is the outside. I'll be doing on Wednesday. And this is the exterior base, which I have fused with Decoville Heavy. This is the lining slip pocket. in the Captain's Red and Sweet Nothings. And here we have the lining front and back, which is Sweet Nothings, 2 of those. This is also interfaced. Zipper back pocket facing. This is the lining piece in Captain's Red. Here is the lining zipper pocket. I have 2 in the Captain's Red. And we have the zipper casing as well. And we have the zipper stop. Okay. For my hardware pieces, I have 3 zippers, webbing for my straps. Also have two swivel hooks, 1 strap adjuster, two D-rings, magnetic snap, bag tag, and my zipper pulls. These are all number 5 zippers, and the hardware, everything is 1.5 inches. Okay, let's get started. Okay, we're going to start off with exterior center front, which is piece A, and your exterior zipper pocket facing, which is interfaced and marked according to the pattern instructions. Please make sure you refer to the pattern for all your markings and interface pieces. I will show you which pieces I have interfaced. There are some that will not be interfaced prior to sewing everything together. Okay, so what I have done is I have put a notch on the top and the bottom of this outer piece, and I have placed a small marking on the side. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a little marking there, right there, so that I can center my piece so that we can stitch it together. Now note that this right here is the stitching line. Okay, so on the pattern piece, I will show you the back. This is a pattern piece. It's all one, and all the markings are on the other side, and it tells you where to cut, which will be your cutting line. Okay? Okay. So again, I'm going to align this with my marking. I'm going to put that together. And then I'm going to sew right on that line. Okay, I am using a Juki DDL 8700. And I will be using a stitch length of 3 at this point. So make sure you take it slow. Go forward, go forward and backwards, back stitch at your beginning and end points. But like I said, go very slow. If you have to hand crank your machine, hand crank your machine. Make sure you turn it, the fabric, slowly so that you can stay directly on the curved line. Again, go slowly. It does tell you where to stitch. Stay right on the line. And when you get to the end, the beginning of the curve, have my needle down. I'm going to remove this so that I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to start to curve at this point. Again, go very slowly. Hand crank it if you have to. I'm still getting used to going forward and backwards on this machine, getting used to the speed. I do have a servo motor that came with it, so that helps. Here we go. And there it is. So now at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to cut the curved piece as close as you can. Don't cut the stitching line so that we can flip the whole thing back. Or the lining back. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Okay. If you do hear dogs barking, I apologize. They're my dogs, and yeah, they bark at the drop of a hat. All right, so at this right here, what I'm going to do is put some notches in there so that when I flip the lining back, there won't be bulk fabric there. So I'm going to do the same thing with this corner. Just like 1/16 of an inch. I did cut quite a bit. Yes, I do have to get some good scissors. We're going to flip it back. And I'm going to pinch at the edge so that I can get everything flattened. Okay. Now, instead of pressing this down, I do have a seam roller that I am going to use to help me get a nice crisp edge there. Again, everything I use, I will put in the description box below. I love this, and I use this tool every time I work with vinyl, which is probably 99% of the time. All right, so let's flip this over. And here you can see, I'm gonna try to pin this in place or clip it back and get it ready for my zipper. We're going to pull one of the zippers. No, we have 3 sizes. I'm going to pull one of the smaller pieces. And I'm going to put my zipper pull at the end. Let me get my lighter. Forgot to burn my edges. Oops. Running out of fuel here. Okay. Open this up. Grab one of my zipper pulls. I'm also going to pull the other one so that I can also have it ready and set for when I need it. Do the same thing. I'm going to burn my edges. And add my zipper pull. One of the zippers, we're going to mark and cut according to the pattern instructions. Okay, this is a zipper we're going to work with, so I'm going to put this one to the side for now. Try to get some of this mess out of the way. Okay, so for now I am done with this piece. Okay, I have just changed my thread to a red thread, and we are now going to take the smaller of the two zippers, and you will also need the exterior zipper pocket, one of the linings. So we're going to add zipper tape to the right side of the fabric, not to the left, to the right. Okay. Let me peel that off. And we're going to have our zipper going up. So when it closes, it closes up. Okay, we're going to stitch this in place according to the pattern instructions. Remember to backstitch the beginning and the end. And we are going to pull out our front panel piece that we have already put together. And the zipper part, what we're going to do with this piece now is we're going to flip it so that we can see the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to finger press and use my seam roller right here. Like 9 nice crisp edges. There we go. Okay, so again, our zipper will be closing up. Okay, so now this will be to our left. You're going to take your panel piece and you're going to put it right on top. So I have double-sided tape here, which I am going to remove the backing, both edges. And I'm going to center the zipper right on the tape. Align the edges. I hope you can see that. All right. You want to see the zipper teeth. Let's see. Make sure your zipper is straight. Pull out the zipper pull before it gets stuck under there. Now, once that's in place, you can add double-sided tape if you wish, but I think I should be good at this point. And then we're going to top stitch all the way around the edges as close as you can, okay? So I'm going to increase my top stitch. And because I'm right-handed, I'm going to flip this upside down. And start at the bottom. I am going to put some clips here. I'm okay with the red showing, peeking through. I just don't want it to come out too far. So if you would like to put double-sided tape on the inside so that it'll hold to the zipper, feel free to do so. I'm going to clip and move the clips as I go and try to keep the spacing the same all the way down as I stitch. All right, so we are going to top stitch. Make sure you back stitch at beginning and end. And again, because this is a curve, take it very slow. Hand crank it if you have to at this point. I will, because I am going over the zipper. Move my zipper out of the way. I'm going to hand crank here the curve. And just finish off. Back stitch. All right. That's all done. And there we are. Okay, so we are now going to get the other exterior zipper pocket, the other side. And we are going to put it on the back. Again, make sure you have the right side touching. I'm going to put double-sided tape on the zipper. Make sure that they match up. And my zipper is nice and flat. Okay. Pull off the double-sided tape. Line up my edges. There we go. And I'm going to sew according to the seam allowance in the pattern directions. Lower my stitch length. Back stitch the beginning and end. Okay. There you are. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pin the top and the bottom of the pocket, and we're going to stitch. So make sure that you move your vinyl out of the way for this step, okay? So I'm just going to straight stitch that pocket closed. Using the seam allowance in the instructions in the pattern. Grab my threads. And I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and end. Do not catch your vinyl. If you have to hand crank, do not catch your vinyl. And do not close the bottom either. Okay. You will have one side longer than the other, okay? But we'll be trimming that. I'm going to go this way. Actually, I'm going upside down. The bottom up, and do the same thing to this side. And I'm going to make sure that I catch this piece here as well to close it up. And that's all set. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that edge up, because it's going to align with your piece there. All right, so I'm going to cut that first. Grab one of my scissors. Then we're going to stitch that in place according to the pattern instructions. The seam allowance. I'm going to stitch from the back side so I can make sure that I catch it. And there's our pocket. It's a nice size pocket. Okay, here I have our exterior side B pieces, and I did decide to go with the spider roses for pop of color. And we're going to clip them to the outer edge. Again, please follow your pattern for the seam allowance. I think this is a cute bag, and I cannot wait to see it put together. Hold my threads. I'm going to back stitch at the beginning and end. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Oh, that's gonna look cute. Look at that. Now we're gonna open our pieces and then top stitch. So I'm gonna grab my seam roller, press those edges down. Now the seam allowance is going to be away, so I'm going to push this on top. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with this side. That's my dog. She heard something. Okay. My zipper out the way. Okay. This way, I get a nice clean edge, so I can top stitch. Move some of my threads out of here. Okay. I'm going to start on this side. I'm going to go turn my piece upside down. Increase my stitch length for the top stitching. Back stitch at the beginning and end. All done. Front exterior panel all done. Do is pull out your exterior center back top pieces. So there's only one. Outside panel. Make sure you mark your edges. Depending, if I think about it at the moment while I'm cutting, I will cut all my center pieces. Sometimes I forget. So I do it as I go. All right. Now, you will need your female portion of your snap, magnetic snap. And I use Decoville Heavy for the back. What I like to do is I take scrap pieces like this, and I buy these punches, paper punches. You can get these at your craft store. Put them in, and I have them ready. So normally if I have a piece like this, I'll cut like 2 or 3 pieces and I'll store them, and I have them as I go. So your female portion of your snap will be at the bottom. So you're going to mark your back. I want to make sure I'm doing the bottom. This is the bottom. Actually, let me add one of my Decoville pieces to the bottom for the snap. I'll be right back. Okay, my Decoville is pressed on there. I'm going to mark my center point. Take my washer part and mark my Decoville Heavy. You can use Decoville Light. I suggest using 2 pieces just to be on the safe side. Or you can use 1 piece on the front, 2 pieces on the back. So I will be cutting, make my slits. Go slow. It's best to cut less than it is to cut more and end up with a piece that is moving around. All right. Find my slit. Feed it through. Add my washer, and I like to press out at this point. Stick my thumbs in the middle and press out. All right, so what I'm going to do with the other pieces, I'm gonna press it on top. Okay, here it is. It's stuck in place, it's not going anywhere. And there's a female portion of my snap. We're going to need the female snap portion that we put together, and then we need the exterior center back bottom. So this is the top and this is the bottom. Gotta pay attention to the direction of my fabric. I'm going to find the center points to be on the safe side. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to put these together, and we're going to sew at a regular seam allowance according to the pattern. Make sure my center points match. Yes, perfect. I have directional fabric, so I want to make sure everything is going in the right direction. So I'm going to stitch that in place. My stitch length down. Now I have to be careful because I have my snap right there, so I'm going slowly. Okay. Juki. Now, at this point, we're going to open this up. We're going to press the seams open and top stitch at both ends. So again, let me pull my little seam roller here. Get that down. And do the same thing on the other side. Now sometimes I will get double-sided tape and put it on either side of the seams so that they stay in place. But that was before I had the seam roller, and it depends, depending on my mood. I will put the double-sided tape on both sides, on either side, to hold them down. But I'm not going to. I will just keep an eye as I go. Increase my seam allowance to top stitch. Okay, here we go. Have those seams open. Make sure you keep an eye on that. Okay, I'm going to back stitch here. I stitch down, and I'm just going to pivot and go up. About there, perfect. Sorry, I have my clips underneath my reverse bar. So there it is. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to put this to the side. And we are going to locate our exterior slip pocket inside piece. And we're going to find our center points. I'm going to need some more Decoville Heavy. Let me see if I have, nope. Cut 2 more pieces. Now, in the center top, I'm going to place the Decoville Heavy on this side. So I'm going to quickly go to my ironing board and press this quickly. Okay, here's my Decoville Heavy. Now I'm going to find the center point and mark that. That's okay that there's extra. I'd rather have a little extra support there than not. I'm going to find my male piece of the snap. There it is. And here's the bottom portion, or the washer. Cut those slits open. Sorry if you hear noise in the background. My son is in his room playing games. Okay. Once again, slip it through the slits. You can add fray check. I don't. I feel that the Decoville Heavy offers the support it needs, but if you want to put fray check, please feel free to do so. That's just personal preference of mine. And there is my male piece, and like I did with the female piece, I'm going to put that one on top. Press it on. I'll be right back. Okay, there it is. Sandwiched in between two pieces of Decoville is my snap. Okay, now that we have that done, we will need the exterior slip pocket outside piece. And for that, we have Wednesday. Now, we're going to first find our center points just to be on the safe side. Okay, now that I have my notches there, I'm going to line it up and once again stitch that according to the pattern instructions. As far as the seam allowances, please follow the pattern. There we go. And I'm going to stitch from this side only because of the snap. Just want to make sure that I'm careful about hitting that piece. Okay. Lower my seam allowance. Let me move my clips this time. I'm always hitting them. Going to back stitch once again, beginning and end. Slow down right here. Oh, nice clearance. Okay. And clip. Okay. Now we're going to flip this out. Wrong sides together. Hope I'm in frame there. Just double checking. Okay. And we're going to top stitch 1/8 of an inch. I'm okay with the red showing. I just think it looks good that way. Add a little pop of color to that black and white. So I'm going to press that back. And I'm going to stitch from this side. Top stitch the top edge. Increase my seam allowance. And okay, getting to my magnetic snap. Nice clearance there. Beautiful. I love it when things go that smoothly. Okay, now we're going to locate our exterior center back that we previously prepared with the female portion of the snap. Now, what you want to do is align the bottom pieces. See how mine already attached? Perfect. I love the way she did this. Look at that. I didn't even have to snap it in place. All right. So I'm going to clip these. We're going to go down from the top according to the amount that it says on the pattern. We're going to start clipping. Okay, we're clipping all the layers together. Then we're going to take the top piece. We're going to flip it back. Always have a lint roller nearby. And we're going to stitch on the bottom right here. Okay, we're going to stitch these two pieces together so that they stay in place. She gives you the measurement from where to stitch this. So if you prefer to make a line and then stitch on the line, feel free to do so. I'm just gonna eyeball it. Okay. Now that that's stitched in place, we're going to bring the panel back down. And we're going to stitch the sides together. So all the pieces, all three pieces, all three layers are going to be stitched closed. Make sure you start right at the beginning of the pocket. Back stitch, keep that in place. I'm not clipping. Don't feel that I really have to at this point. But if you do want to clip, just to make sure. If you're using fabric, yes, I would clip. Vinyl, I feel like I don't have to. All right, you know what? Let me back stitch here. And just go around. piece is nice and flat. So when I come around up the other side, they won't buckle when I get to the top. Hold my clips before they hit the floor. And once you get to the top of the pocket, make sure you back stitch. Okay. And those pieces are now joined together. Okay. There you go. Okay, we're going to locate our exterior side pieces, just like we did the front. We're going to attach them on the sides, and we're going to stitch all the way down and top stitch, just like we did the front. And now, like before, I'm going to press them open. Use my little seam roller. And the same thing to the other side. Set my machine for top stitching, and just like we did the other side. Okay. Almost done with the exteriors. Is my back panel completed. Now, we need both exterior front and back panels. Okay, here's the front panel, and this is the back panel. What we have to do is we're going to box the corners next. It did come with a piece to use box our corners. So what I am going to do is mark it with my pen. This is a permanent marker. If you don't feel comfortable using a permanent marker, use a friction pen. Since this is going to be in the back and it's going to be cut off, you're not really going to see it. Do the same thing to the back panel. cutting those pieces. I will pin them together, clip them together, align my bottom edges, the seam allowance. Actually, because it's thicker, I'm going to clip it in place with my clips. Make sure these are aligned. Yes, okay. Then I'm going to stitch the bottom. And stitch it in place using my regular seam allowance. Now we're only stitching the bottom pieces together, not the whole thing. Okay. Make sure you go slowly over those thick seams. Guess what? I lost the bobbin race. All right, so I'm gonna pick up about an inch back from where I left off. Going to back stitch. Back stitch there again, just to be safe. And complete the bottom. Okay. Now, I love the way she does the bottom to the exterior. There it is. This is the first time I'll be doing a bottom like this. Let me just take this, and I'm going to burn that. Just so that I feel secure. Okay. And those are all set. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we're going to press this allowance open. Just look at the other side. Yeah. Okay, that's good. All right. Now, what we're going to do is get our exterior base. Here's our exterior base and Decoville Heavy. So I decided to do Decoville Heavy instead of Peltex. It's what I prefer. And then we're gonna bring those seams inside on both ends. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to most likely use duct tape to keep this down, just for my sense of security. So give me 1 second while I locate my duct tape. There we go. I'm gonna take 2 more pieces and I'm gonna do the ends. Like I said, this is just for me. You don't have to do this. If you're not working with vinyl, you don't need this. Because I'm working with vinyl, this is what I'm going to do. Because I want to make sure that this is flat for the next step. If it's fabric, just press it open. Sorry, my hands are in the way, but I want to make sure I can see what I'm doing. And there we go. I feel much better now. There's my duct tape for the inside. Like I said, this is for me because we're going to flip this over. We're going to take this piece. I'm going to put double-sided tape on both ends. I'm going to get my 1/4 inch. Right now I have my 1/8 inch. And use that to hold it in place. Tear off the backing, if I can get it. And the same thing with the other side. You can use fabric glue. I prefer double-sided tape. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over because this is my front piece and I would prefer just to do it this way. Now we're going to align the pieces. We're going to center that in between your box piece, your boxed corners. I'm going to make sure that it's centered. I'm going to put a clip there, put another clip there. It's not perfect, but I'm sure that's going to be part of the seam allowance, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I do want to make sure that it does match, or there is the same amount of spacing here as there is here. Okay. And the same thing with this side. Just lift it up just a hair. And this is fine. Okay. 1 clip there. And 1 clip there. So this, there it is. This is what it looks like. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to top stitch down either side. Now, if you want to tape this down, feel free to tape it down, glue it down. I'm not going to. I'm going to trust that it's not going to move on me. And stitch it down. All right. Make sure you back stitch at this point. Move that clip out the way. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other side. I could have just gone straight down, but I didn't. Pull these threads out of the way. Here we go. Again, back stitch. Move my piece out the way so that I can stitch without anything blocking my way. Alrighty, my bottom is on. Now that that's done, we're going to clip our side pieces. And we're going to stitch all the way down. Now, this is pretty thick here, so I need to be careful. I'm going to use my clips. Alrighty, let's stitch down the sides. Back stitch at the top. This bag happened to be the bag of the month. If you are a member of the Bag of the Month Club, this was the January bag of the month. Now, depending when I release this bag, or this video, is when you'll be able to purchase the pattern. Okay, that's done. Yeah. All right. Now time to box the corners. Oh, good. Yep, that's gonna work. All right. That seam allowance is open, which I'm glad I did. Hold it down with double-sided, with duct tape. Clip this together. Make sure my centers are aligned. And I'm going to stitch that down. I'm going to do each corner one at a time. I apologize, the bag is in the way. You're probably not seeing this. I like to double stitch or go back my center seams. I do that every time I do a box corner. I feel safer if I do that. I know it's secure. So this is where I tend to go back and forth, just to make sure that my seams are nice and stitched and it won't open there. All right, I'm going to do this corner same way. Match up my seams, clip here, clip there, and regular stitch. I'm going to do this. Oh, this is the last side. I don't know why I was thinking 4 sides. Okay. Go. Beautiful. They are done. I'm going to turn my bag inside out and see what it looks like. Cut this thread that's been bugging me. Push the corners in. You can hear how thick this vinyl is. I really love it. I've got my corners. Beautiful. I've got my other corners. And like to give it a squish. I always do that when I work with vinyl. And there is my bag. The out piece done. This is the back, sides, front, interior piece. And there is the bottom. I love that. I love what she did there. Alrighty. I think I can breathe a little bit now. Okay. I'm gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna get my strap pieces. Actually, I forgot to add my nameplate, which I tend to do quite often. Actually, I think I can do this. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I did. I put it in the front, and I decided to do it off camera, and I'm going to Tell you why. The pocket is already in there. So I struggled to push this back. And let me tell you, I did grab the pocket twice to attach my label. So just a reminder, attach your label before you attach the sides. We are now going to grab our tabs, strap tabs, and what I decided to do was webbing. So since I don't have to stitch the sides or anything, in the instructions it tells you to use fabric, and she interfaced it and everything, so I decided not to go that route because of the thick vinyl. I didn't want to add bulk on top of bulk, so I decided just to use the webbing. So and it would help if I had the D-rings. Don't want to make an error. Okay. So I'm using 1.5 inch D-rings. Thought that clip was going to break. You can feel it. Put these to the side. We have those ready. Now, for the next step, I'm going to grab my outer piece that's already prepared. I'm going to open up my seam allowances. I'm going to open this up and put my straps there. I'm going to stitch the edges first. Okay, I'm happy there. Now, it tells you how far down to go. I'm gonna go about halfway down. Center, there's a line right here in the middle, so I'm going to follow that and attach it there. Make sure it's in the center. Clip those in place. And I'm going to stitch it in place. Okay, that's done. Personal preference, I don't like rivets. Not that I don't like rivets. I'm always afraid that the rivets are going to pop off. So I prefer just to stitch them on there. If I decide to do rivets last minute, I'll do it. But for now, actually, I am going to measure so that I have them even on both sides. Oh, there it is. Right. Okay. pouches. I just want to make sure that they measure same on both sides. Okay. Oh, let me match up my center seam first. And then make sure it's at 3 1/4 inch. Okay. All right. Let me clip it in place. So that it doesn't shift when I'm stitching it. Okay. Tabs are in place. There they are. Okay. All right, so right now the exterior piece is done, and we're going to start working with the lining. So let me grab my lining slip pocket eye pieces.